All right, the sun is almost up and over those trees. What's up, Skywatchers? What is up indeed? All right, guys, today I'm sitting out here. I'm watching the sunrise. It's about to come up over the house. You guys may recognize, some of you still don't know, I guess. You're missing some of my videos. You should be subscribed to my YouTube channel, hit that bell, watch the videos, and then hit the like button if you like the video. But yeah, I'm no longer in Alaska. I'm in Illinois right now. I will be here on extended stay, visiting with friends and family, and I won't be going back to Alaska for some time. Let's just say that. But today, we're going to look at the sun. We're going to record it. You know, a lot of people are saying it's a fake sun. And all right, so we're about to watch the sun come up over the trees here, and I'm going to show you there is no fake sun. You know, there are a lot of communities out there that would have you believe the sun is fake, and that's probably the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life. But instead of giving you my opinion, we're going to catch it on the camera, and we're going to show you that there's a real sun. I'm not even sure why this is a debate, you know. The people who've been subscribed to me for a couple years now, that's how long this channel has been going, they've seen me record the sun. They've seen my photographs. It's 100% real. I know you guys come at me with, but there's a patent on the sun simulator. So what? That doesn't make our sun any less real. How many of you have actually taken a deep dive into solar geoengineering? Have you studied all the facets, all the plans? Have you studied the patents on solar geoengineering, on the reflectors, on how they can cut a piece of the sky out with a high energy laser, okay? So there is a lot to understand when we're talking about solar geoengineering the sun. And you got to do your homework, okay? I mean, I can only do so much for you, but you have to do the work yourself. But let's get right into it. Getting a bit warm out now. Started out at 55 degrees this morning. Probably won't get much hotter than 70, low 70s today, I'd imagine. We'll see. But I did want to address some things that you guys had brought up. The white sun. People are like, the sun's white, you know, and they think it's a fake sun. But I'm going to tell you what's happening, all right? Some people are just waking up, so they think everything that they're finding is brand new. Well, this stuff has been going on for a long time, more than 20 years. A lot of it has been going on more than 30 years. And the reason the atmosphere is so distorted is you can go back to the 40s when they did the atomic bomb testing. You know, they thought they'd blown up the whole world at that time. What they didn't tell you is they did change the world's weather. Places like Southern California that received very little annual rainfall had now started to flood because of these atomic bomb testings. And then, you know, back to the white sun again. There have been more than 2,000 nuclear explosions in the atmosphere. I think one of them you can look up is Starfish Prime. So the reason the sun is white has a lot to do with our atmosphere being blown up multiple times, okay? I mean, Think about it. Nuclear explosions in the atmosphere, screwing up the layers of our atmosphere, and people want to say the sun is fake. Well, no, it's the atmosphere that has gotten destroyed. And more to the white sun. Now, you can watch them deploy the stratospheric aerosols. You can call them chemtrails, but, you know, there are more than 1,000 operations going on simultaneously around the world. So to say it's cloud seeding, to say it's solar geoengineering, to say it's any one thing is definitely wrong. You have to look at the patterns, what they are doing, how high they are or how low they are in which part of the atmosphere that they're releasing these stratospheric aerosols, or even closer to the troposphere, you know, right down here where we can see them. That isn't good either. But back to the stratospheric aerosols, when they release these, there are heavy metals, reflective particles, irradiated particles, graphene-wrapped aluminum. I mean, there is so much stuff in this. You know, people talk about magnesium, strontium, barium, aluminum. There are more than a dozen different metal compositions in there, okay? And what we see happening is an alchemical response, okay? You watch them expand. Well, that isn't just condensation. That isn't just water vapor. It isn't the dew, the freezing points. This is an alchemical reaction, and it spreads out, and then they can zap these things, okay? Before I go on too much further, remember the reflective particles are reflecting the sun's light up and across the atmosphere, and it creates a blinding white light. Excuse me, there's so much noise here. That's the train going by. There's nothing I can do about it. I'm no longer in my beautiful Alaska. I'm here in Illinois. So back to the reflective particles. That is helping to create the blinding white light, and it is solar radiation management, solar geoengineering, stratospheric aerosol injection. There are a lot of things happening here. So if people aren't talking to you about this and they're just telling you it's a fake sun, then you're only getting a little bit of the story and you're not really understanding what's happening. And that's what I'm here for. I want to clear this up. I watch this on a daily basis for years. You can argue with me all you want. I understand the science. I've observed it. I've photographed it. I've even put it together because, you know, if you think they're going to tell you everything in a patent, you're mistaken. They give us these things so that, you know, there are certain conspiracy theorists who don't research anything, right? They just run off and they tell all their friends and family, the sun is fake, the sun is fake. Well, that's just not true, guys. This is a real sun, okay? And what they have in front of the sun is a sunshade, a parasol. They have reflectors. Now, I don't buy the whole space mirror thing. I don't think anything is out there in space. It's all up in our upper reaches of our atmosphere, okay? And we have to think about the Parker Solar Probe. Also, we've got video where lasers are hitting the sun and causing massive solar flares. And, you know, even the pole shift community, when we get all these unexpected solar storms, they're like, what happened? There was no solar flare. These northern lights across the world shouldn't be happening. Well, of course they should be happening because it's all technology. And these places from the University of Fairbanks to Arecibo in Puerto Rico to the South Pole Station are all working together. And even over there in the UK, we can see this stuff everywhere. I even had received some new images out of Romania of the same round ring pulses that we're seeing here in America and in Mexico. You know, so this is a worldwide operation. More than 179 nations are participating in this. All the nations who participate in Agenda 21, 2030, 2045. If you don't know about those agendas, you should get on your computer and start looking this up. This is where we're at these days. This is the Great Reset. And so many people are falling to conspiracy theory. Now, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm a realist, okay? I do the work. I do the research. I've buried my head in the books for 10 years. I've missed out on huge sections of my life because my head is in a book. And I'm learning all this. And now I'm bringing it to you to help you understand and get away from some of these lesser minds, people who really can't think. And I'm going to have to edit a lot of this out because I get a little fired up. I see some of these responses and I'm thinking you've never studied solar geoengineering, solar dynamics, earth science. A lot of that stuff still holds true, regardless of what many people want you to believe. And so one of the other things I wanted to talk about was these huge round clouds that people are seeing, and they're like, look, it's Nibiru. Well, that's just not true. If you will take notice, and you have to spend a lot of time observing the sky, right? You'll see in some instances, they will spray, and then what happens, you start to see the frequency waves, the microwaves, the scalar waves in the sky, right? And then that whole trail will condense into one ball, one big round ball. That is an atmospheric lens, basically, or it's a tool that they can use to communicate and direct into a storm, to bounce information off of for communication. We also know that most of the fires, all the fires that we're seeing, there might be one natural one somewhere, but everything we're seeing is orchestrated, right? Because it's the Great Reset. They want their land back. They're going to put you guys in 15-minute cities, and I contend most of those 15-minute cities are not for you and I, okay? That's for the future population. Right now, we are the old population. You can't have a Great Reset with the old population. That's not how it works through history. So don't expect that future that everyone keeps talking about to be for us, because it's not for us. So you have to understand the system is always punking us, right? Even from the moon landings. Half the people say it happened, the other half say it don't. FEers show the fake moon landing stuff, and I get it. Even Buzz Aldrin, he's punking us. All these guys, Neil Armstrong, they're all punking us. Whether it happened or not isn't what I'm arguing here. It's the fact that all of them, doesn't matter who your favorite in Washington, D.C. is, they're all playing hoaxes on you, man. The news, if you're watching the news destroys your mind. It destroys how you think. Television destroys how you think. Once you're awake and you really understand this stuff, you will hear it in everything the news says, every actor, every politician. Once you're awake, you can see right through the BS, okay? And I don't fall for anyone's BS. I'm not going to come out here and parrot someone else's narrative, okay? And if there are people telling you that the sun is fake, they don't have your best interest at heart. They just have their own theories and their own misinformation, man, and they're throwing it at you, and you're throwing it back at me, and it's not right. This sun is very real. Yes, I've seen the patents on the sun simulator. I understand how it works. Now, go do your research on solar geoengineering and how they are going to accomplish that and how they are accomplishing it now. While you're busy trying to figure out, is it a sun simulator or not, they're already doing what they're doing up there, okay? And this is why they create all these conspiracy theories. Now, I don't care if I have the biggest following on Facebook or YouTube. I want the best. I want the smartest. I want the brightest. I want the people who see through the BS, and I want them to contribute to my page. That's how it is for me. Now let's talk about the bees for a moment. I keep getting a lot of comments about bees. Well, we know that they are manipulating the skies with frequencies and microwaves. When they do these forests, and most of these forest fires, if you are diligent and you're looking at your fire maps, you'll see how many are controlled burns, prescribed burns, and so on. And so what they're doing is they're going state to state. They're burning out all these forest preserves and saying it's for the benefit and the habitat of wildlife. That's not true. When you burn these huge areas, and I'm talking they burn whole sections of national forest and parkland, okay? That destroys all life. You think they just go, oh, okay, we're going to evacuate the animals, the bees, the insects. They're not evacuating anywhere. They're dying in these fires. And then I see, and I'll throw a picture of it up in here, a big old, I think it's a 130 or 170 military aircraft doing mosquito spraying. Are you kidding me? Are you guys going to sit there and allow them without raising a stink, right? About spraying the skies for mosquitoes? I mean, they're releasing trillions of mosquitoes. And believe me, those mosquitoes going to cause some big problems. So they're over here spraying, and I was driving down the road last week, and a damn spray truck, mosquito spray truck, comes by, and it just, right in my face. Instant headache, started gagging. And my buddy next to me, he's like, what, man? What? I'm like, seriously? This stuff doesn't bother you? He's like, well, we don't want mosquitoes. So if you don't want mosquitoes, I don't even know what to tell you, man. I lived in Alaska. Your mosquitoes down here are just little bitty babies. I'm used to being out around 100 billion mosquitoes, the size of quarters or half dollars, and I don't cry about it. So as long as you're spraying everything for mosquitoes and lawn fertilizers and all these things people are doing, and they wonder where the hell the bees are. Well, it's because we allow all this spraying. You don't think it kills bees? You don't think all that spray accumulates in the birds eating insects? Think about it, man. We are allowing all of this to happen. This society has gone just off the hook. I mean, people cannot pay attention long enough to fully comprehend a subject. And some of it's the frequency, some of it's been the way we've been trained over the last 4 years with this COVID BS. And I say BS, you guys really have to running around being scared of them. I have to be careful what I say here on YouTube and Facebook because they'll take me down in a heartbeat. They've removed so many of my videos in the past. That's why you don't even see me post a lot of memes. I'm trying to stick to mostly video so I can get my message out there. He who follows the herd sees nothing but assholes. Think about that. All right, now let's talk about the eclipse. A lot of people have been talking to me about the eclipse, and they're telling me that the sun changed after the eclipse. No, the eclipse was very real. I was in Alaska. I didn't get to see it, but I'll tell you, that energy that came from the eclipse was so intense, so powerful, that it hit me like a brick, emotionally, physically, mentally. I mean, that eclipse was very real and it was very powerful. Now, you got to remember, if you don't already know, the powers that be are all dark occult, okay? They're dark occultists. They practice black magic. And, you know, if you've read about Atlantis, you know, back then when the city crumbled, black magic was technology. The Atlantean Empire, you know, it was a technologically advanced race. And through all these incarnations of man, what I have found is our technology destroys our world each time. And according to sources, we're the fifth generation, right? And that's probably where we get this 5G. And somebody came and told me, oh, there's no such thing as 5G. You should follow this person. And I'm like, I know that person. They say 5G isn't real. I just blocked them. I don't care. I don't need the negativity. You know, when I see real negative souls, I just get them out of my life. Whether it's personal, professional, it does not matter. I just cut the negativity right out. I don't need it. If you're going to do this stuff, you need to be able to do your own work. And if you're going to steal someone's work and not put your own work in, well, I'm not going to pay attention to you no more. You got to do the work. And I'm finding that is not the case across the board. So don't ever expect me to parrot anyone else. That is not what I do. I do my own research. Yes, I watch every big name, every big page out there. Some of them are okay. Some of them come from a global warming point of view. Some come with the science point of view. And we know if you followed the science, then you probably did something here and boosted yourself enough times. And, you know, anyone who's doing that, I'm not following them. I'm not listening to them because they obviously don't understand what's really happening, okay? You got to be smart enough not to fall for all these psychological operations, and they are in the thousands. That's exactly what they want. And if you've been here long enough, you know I don't do any of that. I might have to learn to be a better solar photographer. I'm not getting exactly what I want here, but that could be my fault. I'm sure it is. I do mostly wildlife. Yeah, those aren't turning out too pretty, but I'll have to do a couple lessons in solar photography. I mean, I've done it before. I don't know what's happening right now, but got a bad setting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this filter here, this Starview filter, and I'm going to put it over the lens on my cell phone, and we're going to take a look at the sun. And we're going to see if there's just anything close to it. All right, guys? All right, so you can see that's lens flare right there. All right, my friends, we've recorded the sky, we photographed the sun, and we can see already that it's a real sun. So people that are trying to convince you that the sun is fake, they're not doing the necessary work, right? Their eyes aren't even open. Their mind isn't even open. They just want to believe what they want to believe. Now, I've explained to you there is a lot going on up there with solar geoengineering, the Parker Solar Probe, and I'm sure many other things that haven't come to our attention yet. But this is something that I will be doing all the time. So So if you want to believe the lies, then by all means do so. But if you want to pursue truth, come here to me, Ed, Alaska Skywatcher, and we'll do this together. And I'm not taking you guys down any wrong road. So if you guys want to see more sun videos and more sky videos, I'm going to try and get a solar filter for this lens. They're pretty expensive, and I don't have the money right now, but if you guys buy me a coffee, I will use that money to get a nice solar filter for this lens and maybe even a more stable tripod, and we'll just make a thing out of recording the sun as often as possible. If you guys been with me, you've seen all my sky photographs over the years. This is what I love to do, so stay aware, be prepared, and until next time, keep looking up.